Hey everyone, Carey Hodsden, PGA here with Common Sense Golf. Today I want to talk about something that a great many people try to understand, but they don't really, most people just don't get their head wrapped around the sequence and the path of the right elbow in a golf swing. Now, I've talked about it a lot, and I've talked about how I want to try to get my elbow underneath my sternum as I'm coming through. Now, it's not just about shoving our elbow in front of us because Ben Hogan did, or because Sam Snead did, or because Tiger Woods did, or whomever, it doesn't even matter. What it's about is getting your hands in the right position. Pushing this elbow in underneath your sternum allows you to get your hands in a position to where you can create lag, okay? And lag is very, very important. Now, I've done a lesson on lag. I've done lessons on getting our elbows in front of us. But the thing that people miss is how the connection works with the entire trail side of your body. So in my case, it would be the right side of my body as I'm swinging right-handed today. So I would want you guys to feel like you're completely connected as you're striking the golf ball. Now, what does connected mean, and what does that feel like? First of all, as I back up and I get into position here, you're going to see some light in my eyes from the projectors. It's just because we're in, a simulator here, and you're going to kind of see that stuff. Please don't pay attention to that. Watch what my body's doing, and listen to what my words are. That way, you can really get a feel for what we're trying to get across to you here. All right. So my goal here right now is to figure out a way to get my hands in front of me so that when my body turns through, okay, that my hands are in front of me, which essentially puts the club in front of me. And although the club is going to be lagging, if my hands are in front of me, that creates a tremendous whipping move. If my elbow gets out here as I'm going through, then I'm going to break down and my wrists are going to break down. My goal is to get my entire right side of my body aligned as I'm going through the hitting area here, through the strike. If I can get my entire body aligned, my right elbow, my right hip, my right wrist, my right knee, my right ankle, my right foot, and my right shoulder, okay? I'm trying to get all of those things aligned together through the strike, all right? Now, if I can get that feeling organized in my head, and I can get that feeling organized on the way down through the golf swing, I can put myself in a position to come into the golf ball the same way every single time. Now, I know a lot of you, when you go out to play or you go out to practice, and I'm talking about even, top level players, some of the best players in the world, you're going to go out there and you're going to feel a little bit different every day, okay? Like Hogan said, it was, the golf swing and practicing the golf swing and ball striking is like a constant struggle, really. I mean, I'm not quoting him exactly, to kind of feel your golf swing and find your golf swing with small, minor adjustments every single day. Now, I agree with him, but this is 50 years later, 60 years later now, okay? And I think we've made some advancements along these lines. And I feel like the way we're swinging now and the way I want you to feel like you're swinging, which I think Hogan kind of got to towards the end of his career, I want you to feel like you're swinging the same way every single time. And every single day to day, I want you to be able to get up on Monday and go to the range whenever you happen to go after work, before work, during the day, whatever, and feel the same way that you're going to feel when you get up Wednesday to go to the range and strike the golf ball. Wouldn't that be awesome? If you could do it the same way every single day. This is the beginning of that, okay? This kind of gets into, once again, you guys that have watched my lessons before, you understand that I'm kind of going 101, 201, 301, 401. And I'm putting all that together on a website called Common Sense Golf. The website is not available yet. It's still being built. But I'm telling you that once we get all these things in the order, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely be able to follow the golf swing from the very beginning of the golf swing all the way to the end of the golf swing at your level, whether your level is a kind of a 101 level, 201 level, 301 level, 401 level, where a 401 level would be like professionals, okay, that want to play for a living, okay, or really, really high-level college players are considering playing for a living. And the rest of us are kind of somewhere in between all of that, the 101 and the 401 area, okay? So with this is kind of a 301 technique, Okay, this is kind of as we're moving into what we really want to study and what we want to really use on a day-to-day basis in our golf swing if we want to be a good player. Okay, so let's get into it. So what my goal in telling you all this stuff right now is to try to get you in a position where your legs and your body will work in unison together, and where especially your arms work in unison with your upper body. Okay, now there are, obviously I've got a ton of other lessons out there for you to watch with how your legs work and the sequencing and all that kind of stuff. Today we're just going to really focus on this elbow and how it connects to the entire trail side of our body, so that when we go through the golf ball, we strike all together, which will give us a very one-piece kind of finished look, okay? So I'm going to try to demonstrate for you just one swing here so that you can kind of get an idea of the one-piece finished look, and then I'm going to really get into how we're going to, make this connection happen. Okay, so for me, I'm signing up or lining up here. I've got my good grip. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push away like I like to from in here. Okay, my left hand. I'm going to get up into my good position here. I'm turning against the inside of my right knee and my right heel. And then I recenter, of course, and then I start my rotation with my bottom, my legs and my knees and my hips. Okay, so once this recenter and I start this rotation, remember, when this rotation starts and I sit into my heels, this right elbow needs to try to get underneath my sternum, like this, okay? And this gets the club in front of me, slightly forward. My hands are slightly forward of center once we get to this area of the golf swing, which is right before the strike, okay? Now, you'll notice, I want you to really notice this. When we get into this position, we recenter just slightly here, and then we start screwing our heels into the ground, essentially, okay? Watch my arms. They won't do anything. See this? I turn, and my elbow, I try to push. The only thing I'm trying to do is right here, is I'm trying to push this side of my elbow, this part of my elbow, the inside of my elbow, underneath my sternum. That's the only other feeling I have. I just make sure that it doesn't go this way, okay? So everything else, my arms stay the same. Once I start screwing my feet into the ground here, my arms stay the same, and my elbow just tries to get underneath my sternum. From here, from this position, I'm able to release through the golf ball, okay, and finish. Something like this. Okay, so now, you see, when you see the end of that golf swing, I'm finishing over on my left side in good balance. It looks like I swung through together in one piece, right? You don't see a lot of flipping around or a lot of arm or hand movement. It just goes through in one piece, okay? The idea is that when you get back here to the end of your backswing, and you start to recenter here, this is where we're going to get into this position where we sit into our heels and rotate our lower body, and then our arms, we're not doing anything with our arms, they're staying right where they were, but this brings the club back around in front of us, okay? And we got to just make sure that our elbow doesn't get stuck back here, that it tries to get in front of our belly here, okay? So that's the only thing that I'm trying to feel is this. Everything works together, okay? And then once I get into this position, my next feeling is continuing to rotate to the left, as far left as I can go. My hands are going to follow my left hip. So if my left hip goes back here, my hands are going to follow where that left hip went, because you've created the room for the hands to go this way. And then my right side, once I get into this position, the butt end of the club goes this way, and my whole right side, as I release into the golf ball with my release right here, which we've talked about in other lessons, my whole right side drives into the golf ball together, bang, okay, like this. And then my hands continue to go off to the left to the finish. The feeling you're going to have is you're going to have a very strong feeling with your right shoulder. You're going to have a strong feeling with your right hand as you release into the golf ball. And you're going to have a very strong feeling in your right knee, right here, and your right hip. Now, the final part of that equation as you're going through is We twist in, we sit down, we get our elbow in front of us, okay? And from here, as we move off to the left, this knee then is going to push as if we're going to run down the target line, right? So we're going here, releasing, and then pushing off our right knee to the finish. And that's it. I mean, because we've opened up so much here, the move to here is just so simple. There's almost nothing, okay? Here, boom, we're done, okay? Now, the majority of the feeling you're going to have is this entire right side all being connected. Once again, your elbow's connected to your hip. Your hip and your knee move together. Your right knee, inside your right knee and your right hip move together. And this elbow connected to your hip allows your shoulder to drive through the golf ball, okay? So the whole right side is hitting together through the golf ball. Creates tremendous, tremendous power and a really, really good feeling because day in and day out, you can feel the same thing. All you have to do is take movement out of your golf swing. In other words, I don't want my arms to be swinging separate from my body, right? I want them to go together with my body, and I want my body behind this golf club, okay? Because I weigh 205 pounds, for instance, okay? And I'm 6 foot tall. When I go through, I want that 205 pounds behind the ball, behind the strike, behind the golf club. I don't want it in front of the golf club. Okay? I mean, imagine that. I'm, 205 pounds. I get over here. Now I have nothing. My body's not behind it. And so all I can do is I can flip at the golf ball. I need to get this stuff in front of me so that when I release through the golf ball and this is pushing through, this is pushing behind the golf ball. This is power that you have that you don't even feel when you strike the golf ball. This is real power, okay? So, real quick to sum up, what this lesson is connecting our entire right side so that we can move through the golf ball together, okay, with our entire trail side. If you're left-handed, it'd be your left side, right? So, our entire trail side, we want to connect our trail side together. The easiest way to do that is if you've got a good backswing like we teach here to get into position. The club is back behind us and around us right here. All I have to do is screw my heels into the ground, bang, like this, okay? And then I'm into a position to where I'm going to release. Now, this is all one motion. I'm not trying to, I'm stopping here, but I want you to swing all the way through when you're practicing this because I hate practicing stopping at the impact area. It's like the worst thing you can do. Don't practice that, okay? Practice swinging all the way through. So when I give you a feeling like this, swing all the way through, okay? So get here, feel it coming down, maybe practice it once like that, and then swing all the way through. Get the feeling of getting over there and getting in balance and getting the feeling of completing your golf swing. Once you learn how to do this, you'll be able to get into a position where if you want to go harder at the golf ball, you get back here, okay? When you start screwing into the ground here and pushing your butt and your heels into the ground to create more leverage for the strike, okay, and create more power and balance, frankly. When you do this, you can start coming from right over here, and pulling from right here at the same time. So you're coming from your lats, okay, and you're coming from your right side and your right shoulder and your bicep and your tricep over on this right side, this whole complex right here. And when this thing gets down in position because you used your hips to get you in position, bang, you can get into a position where this whole side is then driving through the golf ball as hard as you want to go. As hard as you want to go. Shouldn't matter. You should be able to swing as hard as you bloody want to, okay, to be able to strike this golf ball once you get everything aligned, okay? This is about good fundamentals. And then day in and day out, you should be able to feel the same. It took me years to figure that out. Years to figure out how to feel the same every day with my golf swing. I don't know many people that have that feeling, okay? I really don't. But you can. If I can do it, you can do it, all right? I'm Carey Hodsden, PGA, with Common Sense Golf. Got a lot more for you. Stay tuned.